Good morning, comrades, or good evening in our case, and welcome to the summit.
Summit?
Yep, so traditionally wise, we are drinking, what are we drinking?
I've got a rum and coke.
Yeah, I got Jack Daniel's honey. Now, some people have commented on my Instagram stories when I posted Jack Daniel's honey, saying like, oh my God, it's such a poison, why are you drinking this? Can you not afford something better? Well, actually, this is my guilty pleasure, and I like to drink this, and I have a pretty big alcohol collection, I would say, which is worth a lot of money, but that's just like a quick comment related to that. So there's that. Now, on to the topics that we have for today. This time, sometimes we decide to just like give you updates based on whatever's happening in the world. And sometimes we make a kind of a Q&A where you have the chance to ask us questions, and today is the latter. So you had the opportunity to ask questions on Robert's Instagram, and in case you don't have Instagram, well, sorry for that. So maybe for next time you can ask them in the comments below for the upcoming video, but all I want to say is you can always stay tuned by following Robert and I on Instagram, links here or below in this video. So yeah, what were the questions this time?
All right, let's open it up and see. This is actually a good one for you, because Misha was just talking about this about maybe 10 days ago. Are you making an event when all of this Corona business has ended?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Corona, first of all, Corona is bad for business.
Yeah, Corona's not good for business.
Yeah. Unless you're in toilet paper market, probably.
Yeah, really, huh?
Then you're pretty good. Yeah, it's a good question. So right now, even still nowadays, we get sometimes comments saying like, oh my God, I hope the Car Freitag is still going to be on. Well, in case you missed the news, it is, well, Car Freitag, first of all, it's not an official event. It's just a Easter Friday, blah, blah, blah. But the Nürburgring is going to be closed by then. So this means that the whole event or happening is off the table. Now, everyone was waiting for that because it's an unofficial season opener.
It's an awesome event.
It is an awesome event. And especially...
Non-event.
Yeah, it's not an event, it's a happening, it's a gathering. And especially now with us having like just gotten out of the winter break and only had 2 weekends of TF and now being locked away on like everything, people want to drive the track even more. So there is probably like a desire to have something like that. And then I said, well, maybe we should organize like something like a reopener. Now the question is, obviously, when are we going to do? When is the whole thing over? And the question is it going to be still socially responsible to do it by then?
Yeah, I feel that it's going to be a soft opening. I just don't see with the way things are going that we're going to get to if the track opens April 20th, that the following weekend, the 26th, maybe is a Saturday, that we're going to get to just say, okay, let's invite 300 people to Apex and have a hamburger truck and do Car Freitag on, Saturday. Yeah. I just don't see that happening. I suspect that we're going to have a soft opening. It's going to be limited in terms of how many groups can gather and things like that. So do we want to do it? Absolutely. We want to throw a rager out here with a DJ, but if we're going to be able to, that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. So let's hope that there is one. And if we do have one, I personally hope that every one of you watching this video can come join and celebrate with us that the track's back open and things are back to normal, whatever that may be, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's one right here. Misha, I want your opinion before I answer.
Okay.
The kids' first real car that they get when they get old enough, do you think it's going to be their choice or my choice?
Oh, man, I think knowing Max and definitely knowing Annalise is going to be their choice. I hope by the time they grow up, they're going to value your opinion more. But I think because they grow up with you so much, that their opinion is also kind of biased.
So my take on it is this. Daily driver, shitbox. They're going to get like the shittiest shitbox that man's ever seen, right?
Which is safe.
Yes, it's going to be safe, but it's not going to be cool.
Yeah.
Now, their track car, on the other hand, will be badass. Okay. So I see, being able to get them in a really cool car that they can enjoy on the track and be safe with, and it will be really, obviously they're not going to go straight to, this, or something like that, or this, but it's going to be something that's really cool for their age, maybe a very nice GTI of some sort, or, something like that that's really well built, or if they decide that they want rear-wheel drive, maybe we'll do a really cool BMW, but they're not going to be daily driving anything with a ton of horsepower or anything like that. They're going to have to kind of earn their way up to that. I think.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's important. You know?
But you also sometimes said that the M3 Taxi might become there.
I think it'll be a car that they will learn to. I really hope that I see me and Tiffany in the back seat and Max and Annalise in the front of the M3 Taxi.
Yeah.
You know, doing their thing. But again, that's
like
my
12 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's my take. Is that's the track car.
Yeah.
You know, that's different. They can. I'm perfectly okay with them being in something. Let's say more expensive or you know, something like that for the track. But when it's on the street, I don't want them to have enough horsepower to do something stupid.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to be safe. I want them to learn how to develop as drivers and really as responsible people, because I think that's the biggest thing that we miss as 18-year-old kids, or in the States 16-year-old kids, is how to be responsible, how to drive safely and make good decisions. I think that's really what it boils down to. So we shall see.
Yeah.
On this next question right here, any hotel accommodation expansions in the pipeline? I think this goes along the whole Apex concept. I think that this is something that Misha and I were talking about 2 days ago, is that as Apex grows, it changes.
Yeah.
You know, we want to keep this personal relationship with the customers. We want to keep it fun. We're constantly battling with getting more cars and keeping it fun and exciting. And I personally feel, my personal opinion is no, I don't want to expand. I don't want more hotel rooms. We have 5 rooms, the potential for 6 right now, and I don't want any more than that. I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it exciting. I don't want to have 30 people, 30 rooms in the hotel where we're trying to keep track of who's who, and that the guests just become a number.
Yep.
That's my take. What do you think?
I think it's the same. Where we saw, like, I believe last year or like year before, when we started to breach the 10 number mark on the rental cars. So we had like more than 10, and we started to realize that, of course, in the first year, a lot of people came just through the vlogs and social media, and then later on through just like general advertisement and the word of mouth. And yeah, we didn't have like that much of a personal relationship with customers in general, because they were just like coming off the street.
Yep.
But if there would be like too many of them, then it would lower the amount of attention that you can give to a customer.
Absolutely.
Just like simple as that. You cannot like attend to everyone, and when you have like 20 people at the door waiting for a rental car. And the same goes to the hotel. And I believe like we are definitely one of the highest rated hotels at the Nürburgring.
One of, yeah.
It's like 9.4 or 5, 6. Yeah, check out on booking.com. We are high in the 9s.
Diana will tell us.
Yeah. Yeah, and the reason for that is that people value our like service most of all. Like the biggest complaint still is the lack of breakfast, but we don't advertise breakfast. So if you book a hotel which does not offer breakfast, you cannot rate it for bad for not having breakfast.
But hey, if that's and I'm okay with it, honestly. When people they comment on it, and yeah, we don't have breakfast, and it's because we don't want to expand in that direction. True. You know. It's something that I don't want to offer. It's a pain in the butt. I do it elsewhere. Yeah. It's a whole nother thing to deal with. Yeah. And it adds complexity to something that we want to be simple and we want to be fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But we had a guy once giving us a very low score on location.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do like a video when we talk about like the bedroom rating.
This guy gave us a low review on location, and I went off. I said, where in the hell does he want to sleep? On Dodinger Hoh?
Yeah, like at Devil's Diner maybe?
But no, that's no big deal. But at the end of the day, my goal is to keep Apex as small as possible so that we can continue keeping you guys involved and keeping that excitement, because I don't want to do this on a bigger scale. That's the bottom line. I don't want it to be bigger. We could actually turn up and do more cars and more hotel rooms and everything like that, and turn a bigger profit, but it's not what I want to do. It's absolutely out of the question. It won't be fun, or it'll change the fun. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is a good one for Misha. What things besides alcohol do you use to keep your mind off the fact that the track is closed?
Very good question. Well, as people know, and some people still don't know, I actually started working for Rimac this year. And although I am here now, stuck in a quarantine and like with all the borders closed, and on the other hand, Rimac maintains also 2 weeks, and actually more than 2 weeks now, of home office, so I can work from home. This means that from roughly 9 to 5 plus minus, I am still behind my desk and working on the marketing things of Rimac. So that's like kind of settled for me for the biggest part of the day. After that, I start crying, because that would be actually the times when TF would be open. Yep. I still have some old materials that I would edit. I would edit some videos. I will come up with new concepts. I will help with Apex with a couple of things, with like whether it's social media or some ideas or whatnot. So I'm pretty busy. And still, I must say, I got a new sim from Esports Lounge, so thank you very much for that. But even that cannot take my mind away from not having the track open, because it is a very big, a burden, so to say, to being reminded of that. And there's not much more I can say about it. Like there are things that keep us busy. And some people say like, what should we do now because it's home office and it's so boring. Well, I was, I think, never this busy last year, because you have so much more things that you need to take care of,
right.
especially in this tough situation where you really need to put your survival skills, I mean, even for some things on.
Right.
So there's definitely a lot of things that we can do. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's still very frustrating, the situation we're in. And I must definitely say that I think we're quite lucky that this is like our only concern, because out there are a lot of people they're losing their lives or lives of their families or friends, or they like losing their jobs and everything related to that. So I think it's a very good problem to have, a track not being open. But yeah, that's basically my take on it.
Yeah, mine's similar. I mean, for me, the track not being open, I mean, let's put it this way. I actually haven't done a lap this year. Mm-hmm. So there were 3 days that the track was open. I didn't do one lap. Yeah. Day one, I was out working with the team and meeting customers and just having a great day. And so, I haven't been out on the track. I did actually go out on a passenger lap, I think, in the GT2. Yeah. But other than that, I haven't even been on track. Mm-hmm. And normally in other years, I would have probably already done 80 laps in those 3 days, if not more. Yeah. Once the track was closed, I was very sad. I mean, and it was just because looking at the business aspects of it, looking at the human aspect going on around the world, it really kind of took a little bit of wind out of my sails, if you would. But with that being said, I am full speed. I've got less time now than I have when everything's open. Mm-hmm. Whether it's helping customers or looking at employee situations and business models of how can we change things to work with this new environment. I have definitely more on my plate than I would otherwise. Mm-hmm. Misha and I are working in offices that are probably 50 meters apart as the crow flies. Yeah. And we don't see each other until maybe, if we do one day, until 8 o'clock at night. Yeah. Because Misha says, Robert, what are you up to? I got a minute. I'm like, yeah, I don't. I say, Misha, what are you doing? I got a minute. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So we don't even see each other. So we are really full speed ahead with the things that we have going on. So, that's pretty interesting. This also actually goes into the next question, which is, what are your guys' opinions on help provided by the government regarding the coronavirus? I think it's very, very questionable, or I would say it splits the line. You have people on either side of it in terms of, are they happy with it or are they not? For businesses, the medium-sized business kind of gets lost, mm-hmm. if you would. For small businesses, they have nice programs. If you have, depending on the state, and I think that's going to pretty much go to every state pretty soon, certain programs where if you have up to 5 people, I think you can get €9,000 immediate help. It could even be per month for 3 months.
And you're talking about Germany?
Germany, yes. Please forgive me, Germany. And then if you go up to, I think 5 to 10 people, then that number goes from 9,000 up to 15,000. But once you go over 10 people, you kind of just get lost. Yeah. And so businesses with over 10 people are sort of getting lost. And then what's going on above that is that then it's the big businesses individual. Yeah. TUI, which is a big travel company, Lufthansa airline, Volkswagen. All of these, Volkswagen.
They said Volkswagen is losing 2.2 billion per week of cash.
That's insane. And so what ends up happening is these big companies are going to get massive bailouts. TUI, I think it was 1.2 or 1.8 billion euro that they got, that they're getting from the government that they negotiated. So these big companies are getting just large sums of money. And I think if you were to calculate that out and balance it per employee, they might even go further if they went to medium-sized businesses. But the medium-sized businesses are not getting really any aid. What they are getting is government-supported loans. So if you have a company from 10 people or 11 people up to 500, maybe more, the best solution you have is to go talk to your bank and say, hey, will you guys loan me 100,000, 2.5 million, whatever it may be, so that I can get through these slow times.
Yeah.
And there's government backing of, I think it was up to 80% is what the government's willing to do as a guarantee on that loan. And a lot of companies are going to have to sit down and think about, is this worth doing? If I've got a company that's going to burn, let's say 10 million in the next 4 months, is it worth me even continuing? Should I just file bankruptcy now?
Yeah.
Because if I take a 10 million euro loan out on my company that does 30 million a year in business, I'm going to have to work the next 15 years just to pay this 10 million back. That may not be worth it. So they're really going to get in a tricky spot with that. We could go on for days about this, about how this will all work. We don't have the time right now. But I think the governments are in a very tricky position because they only have so much money.
Yeah.
It's not growing on trees. There doesn't, in this world, enough money does not exist to cover the turnover that's going to be lost from every business.
Yeah.
It just doesn't physically exist. So you see the United States just printed $700 billion in quantitative easing. That's not a drop in the bucket to what this is going to cost. So yeah, the governments, I think, are limited as what they can do. They want to help everybody. But unemployment figures are going to go through the roof and everything, and you're going to see some cash-strapped businesses as well as governments. So it's going to go from the government to the businesses down to the employees, and you just have to hope that each person that is in a position to help their employees or their residents or their citizens as best they can does exactly that.
Yeah. And from my take, it's pretty much the same, because I have to deal with the German, the Dutch, the Croatian government, and every government tries to do their best. And I think, considering the situation, I think it is what they can do, and it's good what they're doing, but there is only just as much as they can do.
Exactly.
And I also think I have to say that it all depends on us, if we keep our social distancing and if we maintain the rules, and how long all of this is going to last. And hopefully we will not need more backing, will not need to bail out more businesses, and we can just go on with our daily lives and enjoy ourselves, I would say. And considering this whole Corona topic, I think I'm gonna drop Corona measures, and we're gonna cut this video here and continue with the part 2 next time. So we'll not have a long one.
All right, as you wish.
Yeah, so we need to stretch content. We have a lack of content because the track is closed. So these are the measures. And if you want to dislike this video, I will totally understand. I will forward that dislike to whoever invented Corona. Or, well, maybe let's not say that.
We'll see you guys on part 2.
Yeah, see you guys part 2.